I was kind of pushed because my father, I guess he had this vision of me being a musician, because he was a musician and teacher himself, and then it was easy for him to just bring it on to me. So he used to give me weekly salary per 15 minutes I practiced. So we had this sheet, you know, we could fill out every 15 minutes I practiced, and I felt I was kind of the richest kid in the street because I practiced a lot. I was in dollars, I guess 50 cents.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I was when I was a child. I was really happy every time we could cross out 15 minutes.
What did you spend the money on?
No, mostly candy, I guess. But actually, I saved a lot of the money, and I bought my first trumpet when I was 11. And then my father and mother and my grandmother and everyone chipped in, and we bought the trumpet I was playing on tonight.
You're a kid.
No, so I've been playing on that trumpet ever since. I bought it when I was, I guess, 11 years old. Every time I played with my father, there were only really old people there. And I mean, then they were older than 45, 50 years old, and that's so old, man. If you're 16, that's so old. I'm almost that age myself now, so things have changed in some kind of way. But I have this, I think I had as not like one clear moment, but it was building up over just playing a lot with my dad, and I loved it. I mean, we played every night at home. We didn't have a television, so if we wanted to do something at night, we didn't play cards or watch TV or anything. We just played music together. The way I got into this kind of music is I guess a long story, but I grew up with all kinds of standard jazz, swing jazz, mainstream, Dixieland, and really traditional backgrounds, jazz-wise. And my father used to play this music every time we were in the car, and all the time at home. And my mother used to play classical music and singing classical pieces all the time at home. So I was kind of surrounded by classical and jazz all the time. And at a certain moment when I was around 16, 17 years old, I had this vision that I wanted to do this as a profession when I grew older, but I didn't see any future in just repeating what's already been done. So I had this idea of maybe some beautiful day in the future be able to bring a lot of the tradition and bring it into the contemporary time, and try and look forward in the compositions and in the improvisations, and in also the choices in rhythmic choices, harmonic choices, and everything. But all this came after the initial vision, so to speak. So it started with an idea of just sadly in some kind of way saying goodbye to my father and everything he stood for in like the swing jazz tradition, and move on to try and make something new and something that was my own. when I was a child, my brother brought home like First Circle with Pat Metheny and all these ECM albums, and then like Kenny Wheeler and Kit Jarrett and Jan Garbarek, Terry Rypdal, and I listened to all this music, and it felt like it came from somewhere else in some kind of way, and it didn't have so much to do with the tradition, because no one on these albums, not one single song was like sing sing ka sing sing ka sing, and that was what I was playing all the time the other time. So and I was so used to playing swing, and then I listened to, for instance, Kit Jarrett, and I was just like, wow, I want to get into this world, but I want to write music myself, and I want to write from my heart. And so yeah, it's not easy to label, but I mean it's contemporary improvised lyrical music in some kind of way. It's the last song. It's a song called "For My Grandmothers," because it's a story about family and close relationships and time going by, and I mean generations and all the love you can have if you're happy, born into a family with a lot of love for kids and for each other, and a lot of people relate to that. So usually I get phone calls and emails, and after concerts people come up to me, and I also, when we play that song, I can hear people start to get emotionally touched by it. So that's the really wonderful thing for me to experience, that people are connecting with my emotional state in writing the music and communicating it and reaching the people.